The U.S. gets hit with lots of extreme weather over the course of a year, but blizzards hit hard, and they can last for weeks. The northern U.S. is often battered by storms throughout the winter months, and they can cause millions of dollars of damage. Three things are needed to make a blizzard: cold air, warm air, and moisture. The warm air rises above the cold air because of the density and pressure difference. The warm air then condenses and falls, creating snow. The cold air freezes the precipitation.
Well, most of us have a rough idea of what a blizzard is, but do you know what the specific definition involves? Well, for one thing, a lot of wind, frequent wind gusts to 35 miles an hour. I mean, that's wind that's really howling, and what that wind has to be doing is kicking the snow around and reducing the visibility to less than a quarter mile. Now, notice here, due to falling and/or blowing snow. It doesn't necessarily have to be falling out of the sky. It can just be that there's snow, loose powdery snow on the ground, and you've got that kind of wind kicking that snow up, and that is a blizzard too. It's called a ground blizzard.
The collision of a cold front and a warm front also contributes to the effects of a blizzard. When a cold front and a warm front collide, the chance of precipitation and snow increases by a tenfold. The larger chance of snow creates a bigger possibility of a blizzard occurring.
What is it? Oh, gracious. Wow.
The polar vortex phenomena also contributes to blizzards because all the cold air getting pulled down from the poles increases the likelihood that a cold front and a warm front will collide and create precipitation.
To represent how dangerous blizzards can be, let's talk about the Great Blizzard of 1888. It hit in March and killed around 400 people. It struck the northeast with gusts of 85 miles per hour, and in some places it snowed upwards of 55 inches. The blizzard shut down Wall Street for 3 days, and the storm actually kick-started the building of more subway lines and underground systems.
Baby, I've been here before.
It's the newest treat from Dairy Queen. The Blizzard. The delicious new Dairy Queen Blizzard. The treat's so thick you gotta spoon it up. Get a Blizzard made with a Butterfinger, a Heath Bar, cookies. The choice is yours. The new treat's so rich and thick you gotta spoon it up. The Blizzard, the new treat from Dairy Queen.
The U.S. Search and Rescue Task Force states that blizzards are classified by winds that are 35 miles per hour or higher, large amounts of snow, and visibility less than 1/4 of a mile. This has to happen for 3 hours or more for it to be called a blizzard, but it can last up to a week. The most recent event was during January 2016 along the East Coast. There was 40 inches of snow in some places. There were 983 car crashes, 8,835 flights were canceled, and 8 people died. Blizzards occur most in the upper Midwest and Great Plains. This was thought to be because of the amount of snow, but it is actually because of heavy wind speeds. The effects of blizzards are mostly negative. One can shut down a city, sometimes for days. The massive amounts of snow and wind can cause damage to homes, cars, and other property. Electrical wires can go down, and people are often stranded in their homes until the snow gets cleared. The damage can cost millions to the government and civilians, and the high risk of deaths by exposure and hypothermia can take lives.
Well, Eva's discovering snow. What do you think, pup? Is that alright? Like that cold white stuff?
The negative effects of blizzards are many, but there are a few pluses. Some insurance companies cover blizzard damage, so people have a chance of getting reimbursed for their losses. Also, the highways sometimes shut down and cars aren't usually running, so there is less carbon output into the atmosphere. Lastly, a blizzard is usually a kid's best hope for a snow day at school.
Check this out. It's a car in Buffalo that's turned into a giant icicle Monday after a weekend storm sent waves from Lake Erie surging right onto the streets. After a slow start, winter has hit upstate New York with a vengeance. They're going to see 3 feet of snow the next few days, but this winter will not compare to last. The city got so much snow last year that a 12-foot pile still hadn't melted by the end of July.
Lastly, we will leave you with some fun facts about blizzards. The snowiest city in the U.S. is Rochester, New York. They average about 94 inches of snow a year, or 7.8 feet. Some of America's fiercest blizzards have occurred along the East Coast, more commonly known as nor'easters also. A good tip for surviving in a blizzard is not to eat snow. The snow should be melted first in order to avoid lowering your body temperature.
See you walking around like it's a funeral. Not so serious, girl, why those feet cold? We just getting started, don't you tiptoe, tiptoe. Waste time with the masterpiece, to waste time with the masterpiece.